The landscape of global wealth in 2026 has never been more concentrated, more dominated by technology, or more astonishing in its raw numbers, and nowhere is that more vividly demonstrated than in the Forbes real-time billionaires list, which tracks the daily fortunes of the world's wealthiest individuals with a precision that reveals just how dramatically the artificial intelligence revolution, the rise of mega platforms, and the compounding power of equity ownership have transformed what it means to be truly, incomprehensibly rich in the modern era. At the very summit of all human wealth stands Elon Musk, the South African-born entrepreneur, engineer, and businessman who has built a collection of companies so valuable, so strategically positioned at the intersection of technology, energy, space, and artificial intelligence that his net worth as of March 2026 stands at approximately $836 to $841 billion, according to Forbes, a number so large that it is more than 3 times the GDP of many entire nations and represents the single greatest concentration of individual wealth in recorded human history. Musk's fortune is built across an extraordinary portfolio of ventures: Tesla, the electric vehicle and clean energy company that transformed the global automotive industry; SpaceX, the private aerospace company that has achieved what entire national space agencies once struggled to do; X, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter; and xAI, his artificial intelligence company that has rapidly become a serious competitor in the global AI race. And according to the Hurun Global Rich List 2026, Musk's net worth surged by an extraordinary 89% to reclaim the #1 position, with analysts at Forbes counting down the possibility that he could become the first person in history to reach a $1 trillion net worth. In second place, in a position he has never before occupied in the history of the Forbes Billionaires list, is Larry Page, the co-founder of Google and a quiet, intensely private figure whose wealth has more than doubled in recent years as Alphabet, Google's parent company, has emerged as one of the central beneficiaries of the global artificial intelligence boom, with his net worth sitting at approximately $250 to $262 billion, depending on the exact measurement date in early 2026. Page's fortune grew from $50.9 billion in 2020 to his current extraordinary level in just 5 years, one of the most rapid accumulations of wealth in the history of the Forbes list, driven almost entirely by the relentless rise of Alphabet's stock price as investors have poured capital into the company's AI capabilities, cloud infrastructure, YouTube advertising dominance, and the continued expansion of Google search. Third on the list is Sergey Brin, Larry Page's fellow Google co-founder, and another intensely private billionaire who rarely seeks the public spotlight despite holding a fortune of approximately $231 to $237 billion, making him and Page together a combined force of over $490 billion, representing the most valuable co-founding partnership in the history of global technology, with both men aged 52 and holding stakes in Alphabet's Class B super voting shares that give them disproportionate control over the company's strategic direction. Fourth in the global wealth rankings is Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon and the man who was himself the world's richest person not many years ago, whose current net worth of approximately $227 to $230 billion reflects both the continued dominance of Amazon as the world's largest e-commerce and cloud computing company through its AWS division, and the extraordinary personal investments he has made in Blue Origin, his private space exploration company, as well as his ownership of the Washington Post and a wide portfolio of other ventures that make him one of the most diversified, ultra-high net worth individuals in the world today. In fifth position stands Mark Zuckerberg, the founder and CEO of Meta Platforms, the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, whose net worth of approximately $228 to $229 billion makes him not only the 5th richest person in the world, but also, at just 41 years old, one of the youngest members of the top 10 by a considerable margin, having built a social media empire that connects more than 3 billion people daily and has reinvented itself as a serious artificial intelligence and augmented reality technology company under his direct leadership. Sixth place belongs to Larry Ellison, the co-founder and chief technology officer of Oracle, who experienced one of the most dramatic single-year wealth explosions in billionaire history, when in September 2025, he briefly became only the second person in history after Elon Musk to hold a net worth exceeding $400 billion driven by Oracle's AI-powered cloud infrastructure boom, before a 19% decline in Oracle shares in early 2026 pulled his fortune back to approximately $225 to $245 billion, a range that still places him comfortably in the top 10 while serving as a vivid reminder of how quickly even the most colossal fortunes can fluctuate when they are tied to the performance of a single company's equity. Seventh on the list is Jensen Huang, the co-founder and CEO of NVIDIA, whose personal wealth story may be the single most dramatic financial transformation of the artificial intelligence era. Having joined the Forbes Billionaires top 10 in 2024 with a net worth of $124 billion, Huang has seen his fortune climb to approximately $158 to $162 billion as NVIDIA's dominance in designing the graphics processing units and AI chips that power virtually every large language model, every data center, and every AI application in the world has made it one of the most valuable companies on Earth, with NVIDIA making history as the first company ever to reach a $4 trillion market capitalization. Eighth place belongs to Bernard Arnault, the chairman and chief executive of LVMH, the French luxury conglomerate that controls an empire of 75 prestigious brands, including Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior, Moet and Chandon, Hennessy, Bulgari, Tag Heuer, and Sephora, whose net worth of approximately $179 to $185 billion makes him the wealthiest person in Europe and the only non-technology billionaire in the top 8, with his fortune built on a company that generated revenue of $84.7 billion in 2024 and whose products are consumed by the world's wealthiest consumers across every continent. Arnault controls approximately 50% of LVMH's shares, giving him a grip on the luxury goods market that no other individual on Earth can match. And while the volatility of the global luxury market, which has experienced softness in the crucial Chinese consumer segment in recent years, has caused some fluctuation in his ranking, his position among the top 10 remains firmly established. In ninth place sits Warren Buffett, the 94-year-old chairman and chief executive of Berkshire Hathaway, and arguably the most celebrated investor in the history of financial markets, known universally as the Oracle of Omaha, whose net worth of approximately $143 to $148 billion, according to Forbes, represents not just personal wealth, but a living testament to the power of patient, disciplined, long-term value investing, having grown Berkshire Hathaway from a struggling textile company into one of the largest and most diversified holding companies in the world, owning major stakes in Apple, American Express, Coca-Cola, and dozens of other world-class businesses. Buffett has publicly pledged to give away more than 99% of his wealth to charitable causes, primarily through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, making him simultaneously one of the richest and most philanthropically committed individuals in human history. Rounding out the top 10 is Jensen Huang's fellow technology titan Michael Dell, the founder and CEO of Dell Technologies, whose net worth places him firmly among the elite of global billionaires as his company, which he famously took private in 2013 before relisting it in 2018, has thrived in the AI infrastructure boom through its server and data center hardware business, with Dell Technologies emerging as a key supplier to the data centers that the world's technology giants are building at record pace to power their artificial intelligence ambitions. Together, these 10 individuals control wealth that, when combined, exceeds the gross domestic product of all but a handful of the world's largest economies, a concentration of private wealth that reflects both the extraordinary value creation of the technology revolution and the ongoing debate about inequality, opportunity, and the role of billionaire capital in shaping the future of the global economy.